Yes, g'day again, and welcome back to Club Prairie Fire, the home of Tequila Tabasco and the Duckworth-Lewis system. This is season 4. Yes, I know you're thinking, how can they do 4 seasons in 1 year? Well, that's how this works here at Club Prairie Fire. I am the professor, ready and super pumped for an exceptional summer of cricket here in Australia. So, where are we at the moment? Well, the World Cup party is over. In India, the World Cup final loss has already been forgotten because you know what? The cricket doesn't stop. That much maligned T20 series between Australia B and India C rolls on. And of course, it's become another series that we wrote off that has provided actually some pretty bloody good cricket. Over in England, after a World Cup that didn't count, they head to the Caribbean for what Nasser Hussain is calling a much needed tropical holiday. Apparently, if there is time, there's talk of a couple of matches against the West Indies, but let's all hope that doesn't get in the way of a few rounds of friendly golf and some serious spiced rum sessions for the boys. Finally, back in Australia, the Bison's footprints have been polished out of the trophy and it's been put safely away in the Australia Trophy wing for the 6th time. Not before it was paraded about at the 2023 version of a ticker tape parade, which was basically Pat Cummins and Mitchell Starc hanging out with a bunch of journos at the SCG. What a awesome celebration. Well done, Australia. However, the man that everyone wants to talk to has not been sighted. That willow-wielding, leather-lashing monster of a mustachioed man, Travis Head, is yet to be seen. Well, until today, people. Yes, that is right. Yet another coup for Club Prairie Fire, snared by our Aussie expert, Adam Gilchrist, in Perth. We bring him in now. Gilly, you've done it again.
Oh, yeah, great intro. Season 4. My head is spinning. Who would have thought? I mean, I just can't believe we got out of season 1. But anyway, given that was only one show, I think,
Yeah,
season 1.
Great
stuff, yeah. Yeah, well, you're right. Travis Head, just other than a few social media posts, disappeared off the face of the earth, didn't he, for a while there? Unsighted, unseen until now. And, a bit of a combined effort, I would say, between myself and the skipper, Michael Vaughan, who, well, I mean, we can get back to Travis and Mitchell Marsh and that whole World Cup celebration. We've got to get straight to the more pressing matter. For those that can't see us, those that can see us, they'll know exactly what I'm referring to, because when Michael Vaughan comes on screen, I've got no fucking idea what he is wearing. But over to you, Prof.
Yes, let's welcome our English cricketing guru, who today has come dressed as Queen Elsa from Frozen. And I didn't realise it was fancy dress, Vaughany. I feel a bit embarrassed. But hello, welcome to you. And has the heating system gone in Cheshire?
It's fresh over here, guys. It's gone to -1, so I've got my big jacket on, big winter jacket. I've been in the ice bath. I'm going in the ice bath every morning these days, 6:30. It was a bit fresh in there, let me tell you. But yeah, good to go. I guess it was on Monday. So I've only got 3 more days of this shit over here, and then I'll be in the sunshine.
Morning, you will not need that in the Gabba next week. This time next week, we're there for Big Bash, the first game. Do not bring that actual bit of attire that you're wearing.
Well, I won't bring in this jacket. I got Darren Lehman on the text yesterday. He's in Brisbane. He might be meeting us up on the 6th evening, which is the night before the game. We'll be knackered for the game. That is that is a guarantee. The buff cake is coming for a drink or two. I think Fortitude Valley. Is that right, Gilly? Is that where we're staying?
Yeah, we're in around the action area of Brisbane, mate. That's where it all takes place. Hey, Prof, I know you want to say good day to Ollie too, but Vaughany, you mentioned the ice baths. What's going on? What's this fad? I mean, there was once a time when they used to stick the beers in ice. Now they stick the players in ice. That was good enough for us to retire. We got out of there before they started doing that. But you're getting in the ice bath game.
Yeah, 6:30 every morning, 3 minutes. Just jump in there. Just get yourself in. Good for your immune system. Good for your calmness.
Hangover?
I've never touched drugs in all my life, but they say 3 minutes in an ice bath is like having something. on an evening out. So it's been good for good for the mentality, good for the body. I had a bit of inflammation. It gets rid of all that. And you feel great. You do. You feel alive, understandably. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be getting out of it.
Excellent.
Perfect time, Vaughany, to segue to Ollie. Speaking of people that know what to take on a night out, we bring in our producer.
I thought you were going to say blue balls, but no, I'll take night out. Yes, good to be here. I'm in Sydney, and my job, as ever, is monitoring the socials. And we've been away for, well, that off season was nearly a whole week, which is one of our records. So it's good. It's good to be back. And there are a few socials I want to pick up on at Club Prairie Fire. The first one was thanks to Leon Carlo, who listened to the last episode, and then he shared an image with us of a flight in the Emirates with 80 falcons travelling on the back of Gilly's story with that. And they it followed up that they did have to buy tickets for each of these emotional support animals, which would have been one of the most expensive fares of all time. So thank you for sending that in. And then we had two more, one for each of you. The first one was on YouTube from Nary Boy Chris 3513. Now he basically applauded Vaughany. What he did, Vaughany, for you, and this went on our group, was he's compared your ability to involve England in every single conversation to hyenas scavenging for carcasses. It was that level of rigour and determination that he was very impressed with, which we enjoyed. And the third and final one, Gilly, was your son, I believe, Harry, who you shared the picture of urinating on the Adam Gilchrist Park sign. A lovely family tribute throughout. So, a few social updates for you there.
Yeah, all you can do is hope to earn the respect of your children, isn't it? For you'll learn about that, Ollie, down the track, but the rest of us, we've got kids. It's all you can hope for. Beautiful thumbs up picture at the start, proud son under the dad's sign, and next minute, I suppose when nature calls, you got to go. Well, thank goodness it was a number one.
Well, yeah, very true. And on that, I'll learn that is every season we sort of give a dating update. It's still quite slow, but I'm using the medium now, and I've got a bite for sponsorship. And I won't name them, but someone I'm speaking to works in marketing at an Australian bank and likes cricket. So I'm now pivoting for the podcast to go away from love interest and just purely business. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Oh, excellent. That's boring. We just want
to. All right, and some other stuff. Fine.
All right, going on with Raya. Oh, that's a shame. Hey, Gilly, just so you know as well, that pic of your son that was picked up by ABC Sport as well, and they ran that. So good to see our money is well spent. Our taxpayer money is being spent on them publicising your son pissing on a sign.
3 news articles written about that post. I mean, I don't know whether that's a positive or what that says about the news cycle or journalistic skills at the moment, but that was extraordinary.
Wait till they find out.
I think you'll find, Gilly, England aren't playing cricket, so the news is a bit kind of...
Right, okay. All right.
Well, the good news, Vaughany, is Monday.
Oh, it's hyena.
Monday they take on the might of the West Indies. Now, we don't need to get into it yet. I know that you have forensically gone through both lineups, Vaughany, and you have studied the pitches, and you've got some probably developing news. Do you on that series, or should we hold it?
How much cricket have you seen, Vaughany, since you flew out of Mumbai or Ahmedabad?
No, not a great deal. I've been busy with other aspects of my life, like ice baths over the last week or so. I'll be honest. I saw a little bit of the Women's Big Bash. I saw that on the telly yesterday, which was good to see. But no, I switch off from all these no-nonsense series that absolutely count for jack shit, so I don't watch them.
Now, we have jagged quite the guest here in Travis Head, and I just wanted to ask you boys, just before he gets on here, because he's going to be joining us very shortly. Let's start with you, Vaughany. Vaughany, what is the first question that you've been dying to ask Trav?
What's he doing there?
Vaughany's.
He's got the
those of you listening, it's the celebration.
Double pistol.
Yeah, I'm going to give it that. The first question was to Trav. It'd be dead easy. It'll be, how great were the 2 English umpires in the final?
Oh, mate.
Good question. Good question. No one's asked it so far.
No,
Yeah,
two dicks.
true.
Let's ask him.
Mm.
Gilly, what's your first question going to be for him?
I'm going to ask him if he fully comprehends how pumped I was to see him get out, and ask him if he knows why. Because the game was tucked away. It was in the hip pocket by that stage. So then it was just a case of get out before you get to 149, and he did that beautifully. So he played the perfect innings.
Very good. Ol, have you got one for Trav?
Yeah. Well, because after those two questions, I wanted something a bit more serious and hard hitting. So I just need just to know his thoughts and plans around his facial hair going forward through the summer. Because El Shito, in episode 2, I think we got confirmation from Vaughany that he was the guy. It's been in and out. Money's got to talk, and we're moving serious units here. So I want to know about what's going on there with his management.
Very good. All very important questions. And yes, Vaughany.
Yeah, good questions. Strong.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's got good responses, or we'll just cut him off. Thank him for his time. I just thought we'd have a quick little chat about the summer that's coming up. Obviously, Vaughany, you are pumped to make your way out to our beautiful shores.
Yes.
It's heating up out here, Vaughany. It's beautiful weather at the moment. Sydney's getting blue skies. Gilly, I believe you're getting the same over in Perth?
We've had a week of 40 degrees, pretty much. So, the heat absolutely being turned up. It's summer. It's cricket time. Time to bring it on.
Very good. Now, we as a little group, as a little collective, the Prairie Firearians or whatever we are, we're going to be covering basically 10 weeks of this summer. We're going to be doing a show each week, maybe an occasional extra one if we're feeling in the mood. And we're going to be following the cricket around the country. Couple of test series that are happening, Pakistan and the West Indies, which all four of us are super pumped about. I think they're going to be awesome. And then these boys are going to be following the BBL as well. Plenty of superstars in the BBL. So we'll be following that around as well. Now, first it'll show that the four of us are going to get to do in a studio together. Can you believe it? After all this time is next week in Brisbane, Vegas. Let's hope we all get on in person, I guess.
Could be trouble.
Yeah, nervous.
Could be trouble.
Otherwise
sure
all
the right appropriate amount of toastable beverage there to make sure we do the toast properly.
Just on the David, I'm enjoying all the David Warner. Obviously David's going to say goodbye in Sydney, and it's a little bit of a race, isn't it, to replace him? Who's going to open the batting? There's a couple of options I've enjoyed. Marnus maybe moving up to open the batting. I don't mind that option. Big Cam Green, throw him up the top, give him a launch pad. Any other? There's Marcus Harris. He's always there. Cam Bancroft, Gilly.
Yep.
He'll be. He's started the season well, but I must admit, I do like in this new era of baseball being the number one way to play the game. Someone like Cam Green going up the top. I like the sound of that.
Well, if Australia were truly wanting to replicate baseball, which I'm gathered from Nathan Lyon's quote last week, where he said it was an absolute load of shit. I don't think they're trying to replicate it. But if they were going to try and really take it on and take that England's lead, Maxwell, straight in at the top. Straight in. Like that would elevate it to a different level. That'd be like, I see your baseball and I'm giving you Max ball.
Ball. Yeah. Shout, Gilly. Yeah, I like that.
Maxi opening with Uzi, is that what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah, Uzi can hold an end up if there's any damage done, but imagine Maxi just pinning the ears back there right from ball one.
Oh, yeah, I must admit when Nathan made those comments and he said he's 2-0 up against Bazball, I actually forgot that he didn't play the last 3 games.
No, he didn't.
Do you think
right, yeah, forgot about that.
Vaughany, that's a good question for you. Do you think if Gary goes on and plays those last 3, that it's tied 2-2, or do you think the Aussies get it done easy?
No, the Aussies win easy. The Aussies would have won easy. Definitely. He had the, he's that good. He just holds an end and he allows the seamers to rotate. England, we saw at Edgbaston when they went after him, he spread the field and they got out to him. He's high class. So, yes, I would think that Australia not only they've retained the Ashes, so they did well to retain them in England, but I think they may have actually won the Ashes with Nathan for the last 3 tests.
Now, he's obviously about to bring up his 500th wicket. He's on 496. So here's a question for you guys. We know certain commentators like to get in the seat when there's a big moment. Will you guys be fighting to get into the seat to call that Nathan Lyon wicket? Is there anybody else in the Fox box that might be trying to get in there?
Oh, Howie's always striving hard, isn't he?
Howie's yeah.
He can do a marathon session if it means getting in the highlights clip.
I was sniffing the World Cup final. I must admit, Howie was there broadcasting, and he was sniffing around for that big call. He was like a little kid at the back going, "Am I allowed in yet?" And they go, "You just enjoy watching it."
Yeah, the old a bit tougher to time your run for a wicket, isn't it? So, it might take half a day for a bowler to be parked on 499, whereas, with a batter, you can you sort of got a bit more of a scope on when to drop anchors there. But mind you, Nico finds a way most times. So
with that, Vaughany, and someone I think has mentioned this before on the socials. We've spoken a lot about greatness and what makes you a great, and the batting side is the ton in Yorkshire. What's the bowling equivalent? Where do you have to get a fiver or to be? What is it, on a flat deck in Barbados? What are we talking?
Great call.
Yeah, it's a good call. I would say it's if you've got a fiver on a nice sunny day in Scarborough after a night, after a night out in shades and the nightclubs around Scarborough, and you've had a kebab on the way home at 4, maybe just lost 100 quid in the casino, and you get a five for the next day on the nice 5-degree day. Yeah, that's greatness. That really is great.
Is there any current bowlers that that have done that, Vaughany? Is there anybody in the English lineup?
Not many. No, not of this. Well, they don't play much county cricket, the kind of England lads, so it's hard for them to get that kind of recognition. I don't even think I don't know if Jimmy Anderson's played in Scarborough, so he can't really go down as a great yet. Still playing, so there's a chance for Jimmy to obviously get that accolade. There's not many. There isn't many. I think Courtney Walsh might have done it back in the day. I think he might have bowled us out. I'm not too sure what time he went to bed, but I think he
did.
No, he didn't. I think Courtney gave it a good go. So, there's 1 or 2 pro, but there's not many. There's not many can be in the great category, because it's tough to be able to do that on you imagine steaming in and it's hot and you've got a kebab in your belly. It's not easy.
There's probably a couple of...
Ollie, I'm sure you'll come up with just to give us a bit of a perspective on what category of player we're talking about here, of those that have got 5 at Scarborough.
Exactly right.
I'm sure you're very good at a short turnaround. The kebab in the belly, that's
not easy.
That reminds me of the story of Merv Hughes in, I think, AB. Alan Border tells the story where in South Africa in 94, after lunch, he knew that Merv had eaten too much. So he threw him the ball, said, "Come on, mate. It's only a tour game," but he said, "You've got to churn about 5 or 6 red-hot overs out here just to make sure you're primed for the test." And Merv could hardly move. So Merv ran in and bowled the first ball, but came out at snail's pace, got halfway down the pitch and bent over, groaning, holding his knee. And AB thought, "Oh, Jesus, I've pushed him too hard. He's blown a knee. I've stuffed him for the test." Comes running over, and Merv's hunched over and then gives it the old, "Oh, that's better, Skip. I'm right to go now." So he hadn't done so much, but it'd be tough with the garlic sauce on the kebab coming out of shades.
How'd you go, Ollie? Merv's probably short odds. Did he play in Scarborough?
Merv's name didn't come up, but when you type in Scarborough 5-wicket hauls, 2 names come up, and both behemoths of the game. The first one is in a T20, Richie Pyra, Yorkshire absolute legend.
T20.
16. And then the most recent one just a few weeks ago, 3rd of September, looking at the picture, it looks to be about 25 degrees, so pretty warm. And it was, of course, Anuj Dal took 5 for 72 in Scarborough for Derbyshire against Yorkshire. So a couple of greats there.
Fred Truman would have done damage up there, Ollie, though, wouldn't he? Plenty of fifers up there, and he generally had a few fags as well of the 10 pints and the kebab. So,
Craig Overton. We've got Craig Overton here in a one day. Yeah, he got a fifer. So there you go.
Great bowler.
I like to think of all the cricket fans that have tuned in to hear about the T20s in India, and we're talking about Craig Overton, who took a fifer.
Hold on, it gets a little bit better though.
Scarborough.
Yeah, it gets a bit better. Ricky Robinson, his 5-wicket haul at Scarborough failed to save Bridlington Cricket Club from a loss against Hull Zingari at Scarborough just a couple of weeks ago in the 4th Division local. Ricky Robinson.
Very good. All greats.
Great bowler.
All great.
Top 4. Now, we probably should touch on these T20s in India. Obviously, Maxi, that was yesterday, our time, as we record, came out and blasted another 100. Lots of chat of him being our greatest white ball player of all time. Gilly, your name tossed up as a bit of a competitor in that. Thoughts? Is Maxi the best we've ever had?
Oh, I'm looking at you, Vaughany, to see your reaction.
Well, look, he's clearly in the category of being talked about, absolutely. But I think sometimes you can, because it's happened now, and he's just played an incredible innings in the World Cup. He gets his double. He just plays an incredible innings in the T20. The T20s that I don't give a shit about, but I'm sure it was a great innings. I'm sure it's...
Hey, Vaughany, the only time you give a shit about him over here is when you're actually slouched on the couch in Perth time at 9:30 and you go, I'll go around the grounds to see, there's cricket on. Here we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm not buying into this T20 series, I'll be honest. But, I think he deserves a good conversation. I'm not just saying, but Gilly's got to be within a strong conversation as well. Ricky Ponting. Incredible leader of the white ball team, brilliant batter. You're going back in the generations, AB. I think it's always easier when it's just happened to say, they're the greatest of all time. But I'm sure there'll be many, many of the older stages that would be able to debate their era as much as we can debate this era.
Yeah, what about the late Dean Jones? He pioneered stuff for generations to be inspired by, myself included, and to try and follow and emulate. So that sort of early era of white ball cricket, and obviously no T20 around in those days. So it was all 50 over stuff.
Doug Bollinger in there or not?
Dougie? Yeah.
Was it in one day cricket when his lid came off?
There was the hot spot. Do you remember they went to Channel 9 hot spot?
Was that in Test or one days?
I think that was in a test match, but the other one that was great was when he was playing IPL and there was an Indian batsman who in the celebration went up and ripped his lid off on purpose. And Dougie was filthy. Absolutely filthy.
I used to have one of those squirrels on my head, and they're not easy. They're not easy to when it gets warm. And back in the 90s, the pioneer of the squirrel stuck on your head was Gucci. Yeah, Gucci had one on there, and I think he was captain in Sri Lanka, and I think it was a warm-up game, and he was a tough captain, and the players were a bit scared of him. And John Embry was his best bud, though, so John could kind of be quite honest with Gucci, and he batted the first session, and his helmet was on, and he gets in the dressing room, takes the helmet off, and the squirrel had moved. It had slid down his head. And no one said anything until Embers just went, Skip, you better just go and have a look in the mirror. The squirrel's gone AWOL.
First he had gone off piece. Yeah, that's unreal. I reckon the original, maybe who inspired Gucci to get it, was the great Greg Matthews. Funky off spinner, because I was very quickly, I was in the team with him for New South Wales, 1993-94 summer. And we were in Perth playing WA. The night before the game, we're in a nightclub. No, sorry, 2 nights before the game, we're in a nightclub. and he basically got beaten to a pulp. It was horrible, probably within an inch of his life. He ended up in hospital, so he's obviously out for the rest of the season. But when he first came back to be around the squad, like, he had no hair before that night. He turns up at training one day with the complete full head of hair, like nothing, no talk about it, no mention, and then that night on TV, that was when they launched it. He did the ad for, I think it was Advanced Hair, yeah, all that stuff. And that the ad is him going, "Oh, people ask me what it's like to have a new head of hair." And he's panned back and he's standing there in a judo suit, and someone grabs him, to do the throw, where you put your leg around behind them and flipping, and they grab him by the hair and flip him over to show how strong it is. And he's going, yeah, advanced hair. So that's where it all started. I reckon Gucci followed suit after that.
You didn't play with one on,
I'll just give you a bit of a clue. That would have been in a cold studio and it's stuck down and it just have had it done. I tell you, a couple of weeks in and you get into a hot climate and it gets a little bit sweaty underneath. Oh, it's not easy to control the squirrel on your head.
Did you ever play with one on, Vaughany? You didn't actually play.
No, it was post playing. I got one done early in around, I don't know, I retired 2-9. I think it was about 2-10 in 11. It's Vaughany, the late great, who got me involved with yeah. And it's a horse hair that gets put on. So you go and have you go to the salon and they send your hair to a lab and it comes back and this piece of squirrel arrives, but it's a horse, and the horse gets stuck on your head. And I remember it was quite warm in London that week, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I kind of just went outside, waited in the sunshine. I walked to Lords. I think I had it done on the Monday. It was a Thursday, a test match, but Tuesday, Wednesday was warm and I'd been outside. I remember walking on the pitch at 9:30 to do the pitch report, and Brodie was playing, and Brodie came up to me and went, "Mate, your hair's green." the sun had an effect on the horse that they put on top of me, and it turned green.
What a great honour for that horse, though. Like, if you think about it, they're walking around the horse yard going, "Who wants to match former England captain Michael Vaughan?" They find a horse. What a great honour.
What do you reckon, Trav?
Oh, Trav's here.
Here we go, Trav. Perfect timing. Very, very good. Hey, Trav, if you don't mind, if you can humour me for a moment, I like to write a little intro for our guests. So if we've all got a moment, I'll roll with this. Ready? Now, cricket, as we all know, has always had characters. Beefy, Booney, Freddie, Merv, Gilly, Vaughany. Players whose flair on the pitch is only outshone by their animal magnetism off it. The people's champs. Well, the sport of cricket has a new Elvis Presley, a man who, after getting dropped by the Aussie side twice, said he was just going to fucking whack it. And fucking whack it he did. Please welcome world champion Travis Head.
Oh, yes.
Very good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome.
Yeah, very good.
Hey, where are you, mate? Where are you at the moment?
I'm actually not sure. We've come to Gulabati. It's a training day today, so the last weeks have been a bit hit and miss. I've been just going by the calendar. So game day tomorrow. And then I know the last game's in Bangalore where they fly out to home, so I'm looking forward to the next two, playing well and then and getting home and getting ready for the summer.
I'm not sure if is it Bangalore the last game? I don't know where the last game is. We've lost contact with this series to an extent, but the reason I asked, gentlemen, why Trav, and I'm not surprised he doesn't know, in messaging him to try and tee this up the other day, on Tuesday I think it was, Trav, I said, "Is Thursday good for you, for us to record?" And you said, "Yeah, perfect, game day. I'll get it done before I head to the ground." And my next message, gent, was, hate to tell you, your game's on Friday, not on Thursday. So good to see that you're still floating up in the clouds, mate, as you should be. Hey, mate, congratulations. Jesus, that was proper next level stuff and brilliant to watch. And all the accolades that have come your way, mate, thoroughly deserved. It was a Herculean effort by you and the team, and it was just wonderful to watch.
Yeah, thank you. It's been an incredible couple of weeks, really. To not think that I was going to be here in a World Cup, to then featuring in the semi-final, which was an incredible game. To contribute was fantastic after a couple of lean games, and then a couple of days out, seeing the wicket and looking like it was going to be pretty dry. I thought it was going to be a tall order and tough work. And going to bed that night, I was a little bit nervous. And at the halfway point, having done such a good job, I was thinking, just geez, I hope Davey gets off to a flyer and can get us away and take the nerves away a little bit. So at 3 for 40. I guess I threw a bit of caution to the wind and thought, oh, bugger it, I'm going to give it a crack, and stayed really calm and relaxed with Marnus. And it felt like we fielded for about 6 hours. It felt like I batted for about 15 minutes. So incredible day.
When I was saying Herculean effort and good, well done, I was talking about celebrations, not the actual match.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you've gone straight there. But
that's felt like
I do know Vaughany's got a very, very hard-hitting question first up for you.
Yeah, Trav, well done. I mean, obviously the big question from me was how great were the two English umpires in the final?
They were very good. I think also, I think I've seen some highlights as well. I think we might have got away with one with Marn as well in the semi-final as well. I think Shamsi might have hit him on the pad it looked plumb, but just got him outside the line, or umpire's call. So we might have snuck a couple there. We got a couple of sneaky ones, but I know. There was a different ovation for one certain one at the post matcher, which there's been a few stats floating around that they haven't been as successful with a certain one.
Did you know, right before the final, those two, Richard Kettleby, Richard Illingworth, did you know that they've both umpired India in knockout stages, and India have never won a game?
I knew that Ketts had done 6 or 7 games. But I didn't know Illy. So obviously, both exceptional umpires, both happy to have them. And but we are going by the stats. I'm not sure India were too pleased, but I don't think it had any impact in the end.
Well, talking while we're on the topic of India being a bit displeased with proceedings, I noticed the blow up around your good teammate, the Big Bison, having his big hooves just nestled on top of the World Cup. Now, there were calls for him to be banned by the ICC. Now, that's to lay down misère, of course. Don't stop short of that. He should be bloody hung, drawn and quartered. He should be publicly hung, I reckon. That's just ridiculous. You can't do that. What was he thinking at the time? And were you in the room?
I was in the room. We were in the room, but I think that if his smelly socks were the least of our worries, I think in 2015 it got broken. Yeah. I couldn't imagine what you were doing on Packer's boat in the West Indies with the trophy. So if his socks are the only issue, then we haven't got too much to worry about. But no, the boys had a couple of great days. So it was if that's the least of our worries, then we haven't got too much to worry about.
Trav, I mean, you looked to me, some of the pictures that I saw, you looked like you might have had one or two, but it was a dry state, Ahmedabad. Do you have special services in that part of the world that I couldn't find?
We've got a wonderful, wonderful management team who were able to get a couple of permits for all the boys. I think mine carried over from the last time we were here. And then, it's just being able to find the location. So we're very fortunate to find a nice little place out near the golf course. And there were some videos of some folks chunking some very, very heavy wedges into the water later in the day. But we're very fortunate. Obviously, some of the places we do end up, and Ahmedabad being one of them. But we're able to find a couple of hours spare in the day to find a time to have a little celebratory drink.
As you should.
Trav, I saw in your post-match interview when they asked you about the celebration, you were quite, I don't know, blasé. You said, I'll do maybe 2 or 3 days. Was it 2 or 3 days, or was it closer to?
No, I was good. I decided to dry out before the T20, so I had the day off before the game, and I knew I wasn't playing, so that was also nice. But they may have crossed over into the T20 league slightly. But when we got a little bit of new energy and the boys coming into the group in Vizag, there was plenty of energy in the room. Everyone was so excited again. So it just brought a little bit of lift for the few of us that were still on the tour.
Because the other thing you mentioned was that while you're out there batting, you were already picturing the 10-year and the 20-year celebrations.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
thought maybe you could ask Gilly.
I was wondering if I was going to do the 10-year one at Penfolds, and Mitch might do the second one down in Perth in the 20-year one. So, those are the things. I think everyone around Gilly has probably got a couple up his sleeve coming up. So, can't wait for him.
Yeah, they're always good catch-ups. Hey, mate, what did you do wrong since the World Cup that meant that you have to stay for this entire series? Because even it was already a depleted team, but about 5 others have flown the coop already.
Someone needed to carry the trophy around, they said. So I'm still doing the rounds. No, I was obviously half unlucky, half lucky to have 4.5 weeks at home. So with obviously the hand injury, and it was a bit of a blessing, obviously having the time at home, but also, we haven't got a long time until the T20 World Cup. I'm someone who's probably on that fringe of that team who would like to be in another World Cup and be involved, and it gives me a couple of opportunities to have another crack. And obviously the guys were on tour for a very, very, very long time, so to have 4 or 5 weeks at home, the plan was to either have a Shield game to prepare, or a couple of T20s for the Test match, and I felt like T20s were the best prep for red ball cricket.
Just on the series, Trav. I mean, I was calling out at the end of the final that you guys should have just been sent. I mean, how many World Cups, Gilly, did you have? 3?
3, yeah.
Which was the win that you went back home? You had the ticker tape. You had everyone out on the streets. Was that 99?
Yeah, 99. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were like saying that you guys, and I'm not just saying it because you're on, Trav. That for me was the best World Cup win of all time, because you did it in the hardest place in the world, losing the first 2 games, everyone writing you off, then suddenly got on this roll. But to beat that India team in Ahmedabad in front of that crowd was incredible, and the way you did it as well, and the way that Pat captained. But I was crying out that you should have all been sent home. You should have been ticker taped around Sydney, Melbourne, everywhere. You look at the South African World Cup rugby win and what they did the week after. And I think it's great for a sport that actually the whole world sees that, wait a minute, when you win a World Cup, people come out and celebrate. You'd have much preferred to have been in Sydney, wouldn't you, in a ticker tape parade?
Oh, yeah, it would have been pretty special. I think it's one of those things where I think we all knew it was coming. It's hard to, it's a hard one to obviously for me to answer, but it could have been done a little bit differently probably, but it's just how the cards have been dealt. But I think it's brought a lot of joy to Australia. I think I can't wait to sort of get back into that. I know we're not going to be as a full one-day group, but when we get back in that test environment, there's going to be 6 guys more probably in that squad. But I think it will just be a real joy around just the Australian cricket team. Probably that test team will reap the benefits from that enjoyment from the fans and everything. But I do hope when I get to Perth that the crowd rolls in. The Gilchrist Hill at the Optus Stadium will be packed. And
nice.
I do hope that the fans do come out, do support it, and do celebrate accordingly with the group. I know it's going to be a different group, but the Australian cricket team is one. And I'm looking forward to the summer. I think it's going to bring a lot of energy around the summer. So it's going to be exciting to get home and see it all.
Now, you did miss the first 5 games, Trav, at the World Cup with your broken hand. And we've come up with a bit of a theory, Ollie and I, that Aussie cricketers play best post-injury. Let me read you through this. Obviously, you had a broken hand. Then Maxwell broken leg that then led to a concussion off a golf cart that then led to 200 that we will never forget. And then Adam Zampa cut his face open in a pool, couldn't breathe, had back spasms and a crippling fever, and then went on to dominate. So I guess the question is, are you trying to hit each other with golf carts now? Are you trying to slam each other's arms indoors? Is there a real theory now, or am I? No.
Yeah, 100%. The boys were straight on to me because when I come into the New Zealand game, obviously I come off 5 weeks, hadn't held a bat really. And much like the Test Championship, I went on a honeymoon for 6-7 weeks and rolled into the Test Championship with 2 hits under my belt and was able to get some runs then. So I might be sort of that 7-8 week player sort of thing. So not a bad caper if you can get it done. But the boys are sort of saying I'll go back on holiday for a few weeks. And I pretty much did, to be fair. I didn't feature much for the next 3 or 4 games. So But yeah, maybe it takes the edge off everyone. Everyone just slam a finger in the door or something and take the edge off of things and go out and play.
Hey, Eddie, that there's been a theory that Vaughany's thrown around about no one can be claimed a great player unless they've scored 100 on a cold Tuesday night. In the north of England, typically down at Scarborough after night out shades. Just Ollie, just tell me the stat that you've just thrown at me, because I was wondering about your success for Yorkshire. I gathered you might have had a game up in that northern section of England, no doubt. What'd you find, Ollie?
Yeah, so we always end the show with a bit of trivia, or Travia, if you will, this week, yourself and against the boys. And I went on and saw Yorkshire, so I thought, has he got a ton in Yorkshire? Because you obviously played there. I couldn't find it off the top, but there's one thing that comes up, and it is the 22-year-old marked his one-day debut for the club by scoring 175 as Yorkshire beat Leicestershire by 191 runs at Grace Road. It was the second highest individual innings in Yorkshire's one-day history, behind 191 made by fellow South Australians Darren Lehman against Notts at Scarborough 2001. There you go.
There you go.
I remember walking into that dressing room at Yorkshire as a 22-year-old. Not played international cricket. I think there was 10 internationals. Brezzy looked me up and down. The boys were I remember now I know that Jason Gillespie was coach, and they're going, what are we doing getting this kid? He's no good. Playing with a bunch of internationals, and luckily enough, I rolled out Grace Road. Mark Cosgrove, I think, bowled first change, so it was a tough one. I got out with about 10 overs to go, and I got on the bus and felt like I was able to sit with the boys on the way home, which was nice. Tough school.
But Trav, you'd have experienced Scarborough when you were at Yorkshire. You'd have been in Shade Wine Bar and around those kind of late night joints just to get you well prepared for the next day.
Barbados. I went up there once, played one game up there. Still got sledged as an Aussie. I fielded on the boundary, but no, I enjoyed it. I bloody loved my time at Yorkshire. It was my first real experience of a hardcore, successful team that had lots of internationals, a heap of internationals. I was way out of my depth, but it was just it was incredible. Obviously, got cut short a little bit, but incredible time up there. Buff would have had heaps of fun up there, I'm sure.
Oh, Buff. Buff, look in the dictionary under fun, you'll see a picture of his round head. But Trav, talk of round, you had a duck egg after 2 games, you blokes. You weren't even there yet, 0-2. When you turned up, did you sense, obviously the boys had won a couple, and did you sense a mood that the belief was there then, or is there any anecdotal chat amongst the group? Is there one key ingredient that changed the trajectory of that tournament?
I only got a little bit of that because it was cutting in and out. But watching on the TV and being zipping too, and being on a long tour, I sort of sensed in South Africa, like having to play a 5-match series, T20 series and a 5-match series into warm-up games, into that. I think we probably hit a little bit of a flat spot through the middle, knowing how long we had left of the tour. And then once I sort of arrived, we had that great win against Pakistan, and the energy was really there. The confidence was there. I wasn't there for that, but then meeting the boys at the hotel, it seemed like there was a nice little vibe. So, and then the kickstart through the Netherlands game, Maxi 100 off 40. The vibe again was up and about, and we knew that if we could kickstart through that next couple of games, that we could get some momentum. So we did get very fortunate. Obviously, Maxi got 200 in a game. When we were 7 for 90, we just got over the line against New Zealand in a high scoring one. So a few things did go away late, but I think we were playing enough good cricket to know that we could give ourselves a shake if we got there, and a few games went away as well. It looked like 4th, 5th was going to be a few more losses than we imagined at the start of the tournament. So a lot of things had to go right at 0-2, and we were fortunate a few pieces fell in the puzzle, so it was nice.
Yep.
Well, you went on you came back against New Zealand. That was your game back, and you dominated. But then struggled a little bit against the minnows. So you against Afghanistan a duck, then against Bangladesh 10, and then against England 11. So
all minnows.
All minnows. Is there something about those emerging cricketing nations that is a bit more difficult for you to handle, Trav?
Yes. I'll say, I know. I just, I thought I'd take it easy until we got to the business end of it.
Yeah. Don't waste them on the dung.
What about your captain? Pat Cummins is he's had an incredible time as a captain. You see a lot of captains now that focus on Test cricket or ODI cricket, but he just seems to be able to captain in any format and just has this manner around him. I've not been around him that often, but yet I can clearly see that he's got an incredible kind of manner to be able to manage all the different personalities.
Yeah, I think this is the credit that he's deserved. I think on the bigger stage, he's got his critics. He's copped a bit of stick over the time. Is he cut out for it? Is he not? I don't think that group's ever doubted that. I think in the environment, like you said, the personnel is very different. The energy and the personalities in the dressing room are contrast massively, and he's been able to manage that extremely well to have the group that we've got, especially in the white ball team, when you've got the personalities that you do in a shorter form team to manage them, to get them peaking, to get everyone on the same sort of page has been a fantastic job from him and the support staff. But I think in terms of the public, I think a Test World Championship, a World Cup, the way he was able to manoeuvre through that game, it was his best captaincy game by a mile, but I don't think from any stretch it was out of the blue. It's something that's been brewing. It's something that's been there. It's something that the team's been seeing. So I think he's rightly got his kudos from the Australian public now, and probably from the cricketing world, that everyone's sort of seen it and believe it and now understand the reason why he's Australian captain. So I couldn't be more pleased for him. He's had a tough old year personally, and then to do it and to put the will out aside to captain us the way it has been an exceptional job. So I'm looking forward to his summer and the praise that he gets throughout the summer and the rest of his career. It's it's going to be a very, very special one to watch.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. Vaughany, I think the observation is accurate. The way the team, and we had Mitch, Marsh early on in season 1, I think it was, or however many seasons we've had of this. We just make up our seasons, Travis. We just pretend we've done lots. But he spoke glowingly of Pat. Hey, they reckon 300 million fans tuned into the World Cup. We wrote the tournament off at the start. We said it's archaic. There's no place for 50-over cricket anymore. It's the most viewed 50-over tournament in history. Now the dust is settling a little bit. What do you reckon the modern player feels about 50-over cricket? Does it need to stay the same? Does it need to be tweaked? Or does it need to be eliminated?
No, I feel like personally, I feel we're gonna move into the whatever that the current World Cup is going to be. So whatever's relevant at that time. So I think leading in now is going to be a huge buzz around the T20, and one day cricket will totally take a step back to let's put all our eggs in that basket, and then it will be another 2-year process or a year and a half process. I think around when's the next One Day World Cup. So then does some T20 internationals take a step back and guys maybe playing and just concentrating on that one format that holds into the next World Cup. So I feel like you may see that with the bowlers. They put all their eggs in the T20 basket over the next sort of 6 or 7 months. And then T20 cricket's always going to be there. It's not going to go anywhere with the franchise stuff. But then you'll see the guys probably take a step back from one-day cricket. And then, the World Cup's coming up within 12, 18 months. And I know you can't just flick the switch on those sort of things, but you'll see them just obviously you're going to have some time off. So then they'd play more one-day cricket, be involved in the system a bit more, and then build that up to start to go to the World Cup. So I think you'll probably see the trends that leads into more so. And then off the back of that, like we are now, you'll probably see some guys have a bit more of time off from one-day cricket and then ease back into it closer we get.
Yeah, sure.
Very good. Yeah. Now, Trav, we are getting towards the quiz here, but before we do, I wanted to ask you a question. Vaughany, that impersonation you did when we first jumped on, are you able to do that one again for us with the hat and the glasses? This one here. If you're listening to this, make sure you go and have a look on YouTube. Vaughany, here we go. He's just now, Trav, have you seen this?
You must now. I can see him now.
Yeah.
Going in and out of the Wi-Fi.
So I know what it's like when you're at a party and somebody takes a photo of you when you've had a couple and it goes around the group and you're like, why'd you put that up? What? Obviously, Adam Zampa's popped that up on his Instagram for, say, I don't know, 250 million people to see. Was there any chat about, oh, mate, what'd you do? Or you don't care?
Well, I gave 2XU a good run because when they sent me a nice box of gear at the start of the tour, and a long time ago, and there was two of those running hats in there. And now I'm not a massive trainer. I'm not a runner. I'm sort of a game day only sort of guy. And I packed in my bag. And thought the boys are going to have a proper laugh when I roll out the 2XU running hat. And so earlier in the tournament, I just sort of rolled down the pool when there was a few blokes around, and I reckon about 8 blokes in an hour were like, "What have you got on your head? What, like, who are you kidding yourself?" So I got some laughs around that. So when we got back to our rooms, I swapped the plane cap over for the 2XU yellow number, and then I have no idea how I ended up with Zamps' bollets at one stage. So, but then I've still got them in my bag. I think I might have to wear them for the first test. So we'll see. But storyline around it is sort of try to get a laugh out of the boys, and that sort of followed in. And then a few pictures have gone around. I didn't do myself much justice when I was putting some photos up with Stoyan and Mitch and whatnot throughout. And, a couple of WhatsApp groups along the way with a couple of boys. So I haven't done myself much. But like I said, with Mitch's shoes, if the least of my worries is a couple of speed dealers and a 2XU hat, then I haven't got too much to worry about.
Mate, I think it's had the reverse effect. I think people have gone, what a legend, how good. And well-deserved, personally. Yes, Al?
Speaking of people sending you gifts, I think Gilly should be next. We were, just before you joined, we said, what are we going to ask you? And Gilly, and I'm sure this was playing on your mind, was he obviously 149 for Gilly in the World Cup final. And when you were on 137, did that register, and did you think, I'll get out and let him keep that record because he's dining off that on his Wikipedia? So, and what do you want from him as well?
I haven't mentioned it to Tim Nielsen yet, but I think he was a coach at the time, and I've used the squash ball a fair bit. I didn't think about bringing it out, so I've trained with it. So I don't know how he managed to hit anything with that thing because I can't even train with the bloody thing in my glove. But Punter was quick to mention it. It was quite funny. Punter was quick to nudge me and was like, "You're 4 short," and I should have said to him at the time, and I wasn't quick enough until a few hours later that I didn't realise that he played at Wanderers, and I said if I was at Wanderers, it would have been done in about 25 overs. So the ball flies at that joint. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I should have wound him up at the time, but I wasn't quick enough to mention it to him. But he was all over it, so it was fresh on his mind. I'm not sure too much about Gilly, but Punter was. I think Punter got a bit nervous.
Yeah, no, mine. Well, you're right. Wanderers was easy, small ground, postage stamp. Good, nice, even pitch came on. I was on an absolute green top and minefield at Barbados. It was going everywhere. Huge ground. But mate, Trav, watching your innings, I was sitting with my eldest son in a pub in Leichhardt in Sydney. And you've never seen a celebration like it when you got out. It was just like there was just the two of us and the publican, and it was the best moment of the night. I promise you. When you unfortunately smoked that one out in the deep, but no, you're wondering, Ollie. You said what gift have I got, and you just mentioned your 2XU cap. I think it'd only be appropriate, mate, that you'll be the first recipient of our first bit of merch here at Club Prairie Fire. For those that are listening can't see, I'm just holding up. There it is, our cap, beautiful cap, and it's got the little logo on the front, mate. So when you get to Perth for the first test, you'll have one of these in your hot hand, mate.
Brilliant. I look forward to it. I'll hopefully get 100 in Perth. I can take it out around Perth. So
looks good with the speed dealers.
And what we'll do, Gilly, exactly. like a test cap, you have a number on the back. You have it kind of embroidered.
There you go.
We'll get a silver pen and just write your number on there, Trav. Yeah. We don't have enough money on this podcast to get embroidered. We'll get
enough. We've got none.
Trav, can I ask the big question? You obviously had a good party. What was the top 3 of people in the worst states? Obviously, you were quite up there. Having a look at the social pictures, would you say you were in the top 3? Who was with you in that top 3, or were there 3 worse off people than you in that celebration?
So was that what? Oh, sorry, I lost you a little bit. Was that what, top three?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put yourself in the top three from the pictures I saw, I'd say that you probably gave yourself a right good run to get in the top three. But who were the kind of the best players in terms of the celebrations?
Who got the Brownlow votes?
The Brownlows, Mitch. I'd have to give Mitch the 3 votes. And considering that from some of the messages I got when he got home, I think he's just got off his boat in Perth. He's been out there for about 7 days, I think. So he's continued on. Yeah, Mitch was good. Obviously, Maxie's always good. He's always a one that's there late. And the sneaky one, Josh Hazelwood's always there. He's 7'6" and 110 kilos. It takes a lot for him to fill up, so he's always in there for the long haul. So he's a sneaky favourite of mine, old Joshy. And Zamp's obviously it's the normal characters that you would think with the energy. Zampa's, Mitchell, the Marshes, and the Maxwells. But then you get the sneaky ones like the Hazelwoods that just you look back and they're still sitting in the corner, haven't moved. So they're the boys.
And what was Marnus doing? Was he just having a net in the corridor or something? Was he?
we had to roll a few socks up for him, and he could stand in the corner and we underarmed a few to him. But no, he was actually good. It's one of the rare times that Marnus let his hair down. So I think he had a good few days. A few boys have mentioned that we're slowly converting him, maybe. So I'm yet to see it. There's no doubt he would have booked a net in at Redlands probably as soon as he got home, and he's playing the Shield game this week. So he enjoyed himself. So it was good to see him, the relaxed side of Marnus for at least for a few hours.
Very, very good. Very, very good. Now, unless we've got another one for Trav, it is time to bring in Ollie for the Travia today. Is that right, Ollie?
That's it. That's exactly right. Yeah. So Trav, what we do, and I know there's a bit of cutting in and out, but it's a bit of trivia here. I ask you questions about yourself, Gilly, and Vaughany, and it's just a higher or lower situation here, and you can just jump in whenever with your answers. We did find that some people know trivia better than others. Wazzy Makram gave every answer before the end, but let's try it this way. So, question number 1 is, what is higher? Is it Gilly's T20 international strike rate, Trav's T20 international strike rate, or Vaughany's T20 international strike rate?
Oh, give over.
Jeez. It's got to be Trav, surely.
It's got to be
horrific.
It's got to be Gilly. I'm going Gilly.
How many T20 internationals have you played, Hetty?
Me, 20, I think, maybe.
Yeah. What do you play? Vaughany 1?
I think I got a mighty 2. And I reckon I was out first ball in the second game.
There's the SCG, wasn't it?
It's not bad for strike rate, first ball.
True. Now, Gilly, I'll go Gilly.
Okay. Gilly's gone Trav.
Only played 2. No, I'm going to stay with Trav, yeah.
Trav, who do you think?
And I'm going to go Gilly. I think mine's still got a little bit of work to do. I reckon I can get a little bit higher.
So mine needs a bit of work, but I get the feeling you're going to be able to adjust yours a bit better than mine.
Vaughany, 122.72.
Not bad.
Gilly,
that's good.
141.66. Trav, 142.47.
Wow.
So, Trav.
Yes.
I knew I was coming on 40 off 18 the other night, so I knew I was coming on, so I got it up a little bit.
So, Prof's on scoring, but that's a point.
Gilly 1-0.
Yep. Lovely. Okay, now this is just between Trav and Vaughany in terms of the answer, but you all play. What is higher, the number of ODI wickets for Trav or the number of ODI wickets for Vaughany? Who's got more ODI wickets?
They swing more in England, don't they?
Trav got a couple of good ones, didn't you, in the semi?
Yeah, that's only 2, though. How many did you get?
You must. I think I get.
Don't tell him.
It might be me.
Vaughany going himself.
Yeah,
I'm going myself.
Trav's going himself. Gilly.
I'm going to go. I'll go our guest. Yeah, I'll go with Trav again.
Until the semi-final, it was 16-all, but Trav 18-16.
I mentioned the two in the semi. I knew they were important.
you were drawing to. Okay, number 3 is between Gilly and Trav, and this is what is higher, Gilly's ODI strike rate or Trav's?
Oh, geez, I reckon. I think I've got a broad idea where mine finished up. So I'm going to go. I'm going to be really self-indulgent and go myself.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to do the same, I think.
You're going to go, okay. And Vaughany?
I'm going to go Trav.
Gilly, 96.94. Trav, 102.61.
Oh, Jesus. I tell you what, I was at 8 above where I thought I finished. I'm happy with that. I'll take 96.
You played 400 games as well. So
3 questions down, 2 to go. Score update, Prof.
Trav 2, Gil 2, Vaughany 1.
Oh, all to play. Okay. Okay, so then we have got what is higher, Gilly's test tons, Vaughany's ODI 50s, or Trav's ODI 50s?
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Gilly's test tons, your 50s in ODIs, or Trav's 50s in ODIs? Yeah, good thinking. And it is close. Gilly's gone Vaughan.
No, I'll go Trav.
Vaughany's gone Trav. And is Trav going to go Gilly for the full circle?
Yeah, I'm going to go Gilly.
You're going to go Gilly?
I don't know how many 50s I've got, so I'm going to go Gilly.
Trav,
I think you got more than that.
Right.
Trav's got 16 50s, which is the same as Vaughany, which is 17 for Gilly. Trav gets the point and the lead.
He's close.
1. So the last question is, what is higher? Vaughany's followers on Twitter and Instagram, Gilly's followers on Twitter and Instagram, or the amount of views on Trav's latest Instagram video, which is just celebrations of the whole year as a collaboration, a whole montage, and it's good. What is higher?
Trav
in India, massive Trav.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
Yep.
Gilly has 1.71 million. Trav has 1.9 million. Vaughany has 1.92 million followers on Twitter. But it means Trav still wins overall the quiz with 3 points.
That's right. Congratulations. Just keeps winning, this bloke. Just keeps bloody winning.
Been a good tour.
Hey, Trav, can we say you're winning with your tash as well now, yeah? That's good.
Yeah.
Feedback.
It's coming along nicely. It's I lost a charger again, so I've had to go to the barber a few times in the hotel. So been a little bit nervous with if I end up with half of one, but it's coming along nice for the summer.
Get yourself on the streets in India, having a shave and a trim. Just get yourself down there. Lovely fella in Mumbai. If you get there, just get yourself there. Darren Gialli will look after you.
I'll send you.
Vaughany, that might be
gutsy.
That might be a perfect time to bring up the other Ollie's question that we wanted to ask Trav.
Yeah.
Well,
who to talk to?
And as Gilly is getting the toast ready as we say thank you and goodbye, you may recall, Trav, in the Ashes, we're trying to launch our tequila El Shito, and Vaughany approached you to be the ambassador, and then you shaved, so we got concerned and started speaking to Ravi Shastri and his people. But we just want to know, is the tash there to stay, and how much are we talking for this endorsement? Because the tequila and Mexico, the podcast is kicking off. We've had 1 listen, and things are going pretty well over there.
And it comes with agave-based lip balm as well, so don't discount that.
The moustache is staying. I'm always keen.
Great. Would
have been pretty easy sell. I reckon I was a pretty easy sell 3 or 4 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm always around. So I look forward to the summer. I look forward to trying it out. I've got my hat now, so I'll be sorted.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's got a very interesting aroma.
To let you know, Trav, the El Shito tequila product is still in production. We're still trying to find a goat to give us some shit.
Just to get it perfect.
Yeah.
Nah, it'll be beautiful when it comes out. There's no doubt about that. But mate, yeah, we always finish with a little toast to whatever is on our mind, what we feel is appropriate, and it goes without saying. Your effort in the final to back up your Test World Championship effort and just the whole team in general, and more so, you are the proud recipient of cap number 1 of Club Prairie Fire. So thank you so much for joining us, mate. Cheers, and here's to you.
Cheers,
Trav.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done, Trav.
It's the first water I've had for a week and a half. So, cheers.
Good boy. Good boy.
Right, well, that was Club Prairie
Trav.
Fire, Season 4, Episode 1. Travis Head, hope you enjoyed it. Just a reminder, if you want to follow us on socials, at Club Prairie Fire, get on and follow us on everything. X, Instagram, TikTok, the lot. We're on all summer. Thanks again to Trav, and we'll see you next week.
Adios.